A viper said to some water snakes, "The water is mine." Viper and snakes both decided to settle the matter, once and for all, by a fight. The frogs, who were the enemies of the water snake, gave their support to the viper. When the day of announcing the winner came, the frogs began croaking, as they couldn't think of anything else to do. The viper won. Later, when the frogs asked the viper for their share, the viper began whistling, leaving the frogs confused. The viper told the frogs, "I'm repaying you in the same manner by which you helped me." So kids, what we learned today is that always be fair to everyone. Spidey the spider lived in the forest. One winter's evening, Spidey decided to make a big and strong web. He got busy with the work. Spidey wanted this web to be big and strong so that many insects would get caught in it through the night. Then, Spidey could have those insects caught in the web the next day for breakfast. Just when Spidey was halfway through making the web, he started feeling tired and lazy. After all, making a web is not an easy task. Spidey was about to sleep in his half-made web when Spidey remembered the story of his grandfather who had helped King Solomon. King Solomon was inspired when he saw Spidey's grandfather spinning his web, and went on to win a war. Spidey suddenly realized that his task was just to make a simple web. "I must stop being so lazy and finish my task," Spidey thought to himself. Feeling sheepish but remembering his hard-working grandfather, Spidey went back to work and made one of the stickiest webs he had ever made. The web caught many insects overnight, and Spidey had a scrumptious breakfast of insects caught in the web the next day. So kids, what we learned today is that hard work always pays.
One day, a sculptor hired a donkey to carry the sculpture of a goddess. As sculptor and donkey were walking through the town, many people started bowing and joining their hands in front of the sculpture, carried by the donkey. The silly donkey thought that they were bowing to him. "Let me perform for them," he thought. Donkey started braying and kicking in the middle of the street. The sculptor hit the donkey with a stick. Donkey had made a fool of himself in front of the whole town. So kids, what we learned today is that the wise get a nod, the foolish get the rod.
One fine, breezy morning, an ant was strolling by the riverside. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind blew the ant into the river. The tiny ant began struggling for her life as she fell into the river. Although the ant swam gallantly, the currents in the water were too strong for her. Tired, the ant started shouting for help in the river. A kind-hearted pigeon was flying above the river. The pigeon realized that if he didn't help the poor ant, she would drown in the river. Pigeon threw a leaf into the water. The ant quickly got onto the leaf and was saved. The ant waved at the pigeon and thanked him. A few days later, when the ant was strolling in the forest, she saw a hunter aiming a gun at the pigeon. The ant realized that if she didn't do something quickly, the hunter would shoot the pigeon. Without wasting a moment, the ant scurried towards the hunter and bit his foot. The hunter lost his balance and missed the aim. The pigeon heard the gunshot and flew away to safety. Since that day, the ant and the pigeon became best friends. So kids, what we learned today is that if you do good to others, others will do good to you. This story is about a hare named Haughty, who was very talented but afraid of heights. One day, the king organized a great big feast for all the hares in his kingdom. Haughty's friends and family were very excited, but Haughty looked worried. The king's palace was on the top of a big hill with very steep sides. Haughty wasn't sure if he would be able to make it to the palace. Haughty tried, but after he went a small distance, his fear got the better of him. The lights of the palace glistened at night, as Haughty sat at the base of the hill, munching on a carrot. "I am sure it must be a lousy party. I heard that the food is going to be terrible. Imagine climbing so high only to eat tasteless food. Bah! I am happy here," Haughty said to a mouse sitting beside him at the base of the hill. The mouse looked at Haughty and smiled. "How would you know? You aren't even attending the party and don't have the chance to taste the food. There's nothing wrong with the supper being served at the party." "Haughty," said the mouse as he scampered up the hill. So kids, what we learned today is that Do not despise something just because you cannot have it. One day the fly and the ant were having an argument as to which was better. The fly said, "You are a tiny creature. I outdo you in all things. Whenever sweets are prepared, I taste them first. I go to palaces and seat myself on the head of the king." The ant, who waited patiently for the fly to finish, replied, "Though I am small, yet I am wise. I gather food for winters. I am happy in summer, and in the winter I am safe. Many joys follow me, but you are chased with a fly swaddler." So kids, what we learned today is that work steadily and always plan for the lean times.
Ramchand and Premchand were neighbors. Ramchand was a poor farmer. Premchand was a landlord. Ramchand used to be very relaxed and happy. He never bothered to close the doors and windows of his house at night. He had deep, sound sleeps. Although Ramchand had no money, he was peaceful. Premchand used to be very tense always. He was very keen to close the doors and windows of his house at night. He could not sleep well. Premchand was always bothered that someone might break open his safes and steal away his money. Premchand envied the peaceful Ramchand. One day, Premchand called Ramchand and gave him a box full of cash, saying, "Look, my dear friend, I am blessed with plenty of wealth. I find you in poverty. So, take this cash and live in prosperity." Ramchand was overwhelmingly happy. He was joyful throughout the day. Night came. Ramchand went to bed as usual. But today, he could not sleep. Ramchand went and closed the doors and windows. Ramchand still could not sleep. Ramchand began to keep on looking at the box of cash. The whole night he was disturbed. As soon as day broke, Ramchand took the box of cash to Premchand. Ramchand gave away the box to Premchand, saying, "Dear friend, I am poor, but your money took away peace from me. Please bear with me and take back your money." So kids, what we learned today is that money cannot give you everything.
Once, there lived a caterpillar in the forest. His name was Smiley. But Caterpillar Smiley hardly ever smiled. He was sad because he was not as beautiful as the butterflies. "Why can't I be that beautiful?" Caterpillar grieved every single day. One day, the caterpillar Smiley grew tired of looking like a caterpillar and decided to end his life. The caterpillar Smiley climbed on the highest branch of the tallest tree. Caterpillar Smiley looked down from the branch of the tallest tree and realized that if he jumped from here, he would definitely die. Just when Caterpillar Smiley was about to jump from the branch of tallest tree, a monkey lounging on the branch below called out, "Hey Caterpillar, what do you think you are doing?" "I am ending my life," said Caterpillar Smiley, standing on tallest tree. "I am tired of looking so ugly. Maybe if you waited a little longer, a miracle might take place," the wise monkey said. "Would a miracle really happen to me?" asked Caterpillar Smiley while standing on branch of tallest tree. "Oh yes," the monkey said. "Haven't you heard that patience is a virtue?" Caterpillar Smiley decided to follow the monkey's advice. Caterpillar Smiley decided to wait for a while, and to his surprise, he grew into a butterfly in the next 2 weeks. So kids, what we learned today is that to never give up.
Once, a peddler loaded sacks of salt on his donkey. While crossing a river, the donkey fell into the river, and all the salt washed away in the water. When the donkey got up, he felt lighter. Donkey thought, "This is the right way to relieve me from the burden. I will repeat this every day." Soon the peddler realized that the donkey did it on purpose. Peddler decided, "I will teach the donkey a lesson." On the third day, Peddler loaded the donkey with sacks of cotton seeds. As the cotton absorbs water, it gets heavier. The donkey again acted to fall in the river, but on getting up, his burden was far heavier than before. So kids, what we learned today is that there is no shortcut for hard work.